Welcome to 4th grade Alabama history. We are so excited to be working with all of you this year. I want to introduce you to your history teachers. This is Mrs. Bobby Beasley. Miss Beasley just started working with us yesterday, so we are all excited to have her with us. And I am Miss Carol Taylor. Up here at the top is a picture of our textbook, and you should have received that along with your K-12 materials. We're going to spend some time going through and talking a little bit about Alabama history and the requirements, because Alabama history is just a little bit different than your other subjects in your OLS. You are required to attend 2 Class Connect sessions a week. So your classes may be Monday and Wednesday or Tuesday and Thursday. You are also required to complete the lessons in the OLS. That means it might be some daily work. It could be some work samples. Remember, you have to do a work sample each quarter. Or it could be a project. Yes, we do some really fun projects in 4th grade in history. Or it could be a test that's in the OLS. Now, you want to be sure that each Friday you go over and check out your 4th grade newsletter. This newsletter is sent to you by your homeroom teachers. And what you want to be sure you do is to click right here at OLS Weekly Lessons and see what lessons you need to have completed by the end of the week. These lessons are to be used as a guide. This is where you should be by the end of the week. If you've gotten ahead of that, that's great and wonderful. But if you're behind from where these lessons tell you you need to be, you need to speed up and do just a little bit of extra work to catch back up. You can also click right here on Alabama history and get some more details about what's going to be going on in Alabama history. As you are getting ready to start this year off, here are some supplies that you might like to have around your desk while we're doing Alabama history. Of course, the first one is your book. You obviously want to have that nearby. Even though it is a soft-covered book, we've been told we cannot write in these. So, for that reason, it would be a great idea to have some pencils with you, a 3-ring binder, and some notebook paper. So when you are answering questions and doing some work from your textbook, you can put those answers on the loose leaf paper and put it in your binder. You want to be sure you hold on to those kinds of things. Other things you might need are colored pencils or colors for some of our fun projects that we do. Even maybe some glue and scissors. So, how do you get to your lessons in the OLS? Well, you start off by clicking on your daily plan. And then you want to go down to history and click on the link right there. Now, you notice that there is a little red sign right here that says overdue. You also might see overdue up at the top tabs where it says daily plan, weekly plan, and overdue. If you see an overdue lesson there, that just means that's one that you need to go back and complete. So anytime you see an overdue lesson, it's one that you've missed or you haven't finished, and you need to go back and complete it. So after you click on the lesson, let's see where you end up. You would be right here in your OLS at your lesson. It says, where in the world is Alabama? Notice that it gives you a couple of links to go to. You want to be sure you go on those links and you work out the problems that are there. This particular lesson has some questions about our state. So you would click on this particular link and it's going to talk about where in the world is Alabama, because before I even start talking about Alabama, I need to know where Alabama is located. There's another link where you can click And when you click right there, it will give you an answer key. Now, here is how some of these things are a little different. The lessons that are being put in your OLS in history are being put by Miss Beasley and I. So we add those lessons in each week so that you have your lessons to do. So once you have finished right here, you would go to the next step where it says click the arrow to go to the next activity. So you want to click this arrow here and move on to the next activity. This particular one says optional activity. That means it's your choice. If you would like to do this fun activity, by all means do it. And down here at the bottom is a link where you can click right there and you can add a picture of your project to our Padlet so others can see your work too. Sometimes that second activity might not be optional. It might be another activity that you need to complete. Now, once you are done, it says again, click on the arrow and mark your work complete. So you want to come over here and click on the arrow. And when you do, you end up right here where it says, mark my lesson complete. You would click the button and mark your lesson complete. Now, listen carefully, and learning coaches, listen carefully too. If your student just clicks and comes to this slide and marks complete, it's going to appear that they have completed the assignment, but they may not have. So you're going to need to be sure you are right there with them, checking up and kind of keeping tabs on them and being sure that they complete the assignments. Now, the only assignments that you would need to turn in to us are those that we ask you to turn in. If we don't ask for them, keep them in your binder and in your notebook and let your learning coach go over it with you, and they will check for the correct answers. Our tests are also linked in the OLS. You will click on the link, and it's going to be a Google form like this, where you would put in your name, and then you would choose your answer. But the tests for history are all open book. You may use your book, your notebook. What a wonderful reason to be sure you're keeping everything in a binder so you can find it. And even a PowerPoint if there's one that's been provided for you, or any other materials we have given you. So when you take an Alabama history test, you may use your book or any other resources we have provided for you. Now, you are only allowed to take this test one time, whereas in your other subjects, you can go back. But in history, you can only take it one time. But remember, you are allowed to use your book and any other materials that have been provided. Your grade is not going to automatically show up in the grade book as soon as you finish taking the test, because once you take the test, Miss Beasley and I have to go in and actually enter your grade into the grade book. And the grade book is where you're going to watch to be sure that your grades are staying where they need to be. So, Learning Coach, here's exactly what you would do to see your student's grade. You would need to go to the grade book, and you do that by logging into your Learning Coach account and clicking Courses. Once you've clicked on Courses, just click on any of them, and when you do, you're going to see a tab that looks like this that says Progress. Click on the grade book, and once you do that, from the drop-down menu, you should see your students' courses and their current grades. So this is where you would go to check to see your grade in Alabama history and to be sure that everything's being turned in that needs to be. In your OLS, there's a section that shows expected progress, and it works great for every subject but history, and that's because we add those lessons in. They are not provided by the computer-based program. These are ones that Ms. Beasley and I will be putting into your OOS. So for you to keep up with your progress, you will need to go to the gradebook. Well, guys, here is my contact information, and Ms. Beasley is getting hers, so we will have hers on the newsletter this week. So if you have any questions, just send us an email, and we would be glad to help you. Before we end today, I do want to mention one more thing to you, and that is your lessons for this week. This week, you should be working on Lesson 1.2, Alabama State Symbols. Up to this point, you're able to see Lesson 1.1 and 1.2. I am getting ready tomorrow to turn on 1.3. 1.3 is not a lesson that you need to worry about until Friday. This is the lesson you'll be working on Friday. And this hometown slide is going to be your work sample. So I am working on getting a video out to you to explain exactly how you are to do this and where you need to place it. But you're going to make a PowerPoint slide on your hometown. So be on the lookout for more information concerning this. We are looking forward to having a great year with you guys. And if you have any questions, let us know. See you later, alligators. After a while, crocodiles. Bye.